Welcome to Tech in the Right Direction, the podcast. This week, I'll be speaking with Darshini Santhanam. Darshini has over 18 years of experience enabling and developing individuals, teams, and organizations to achieve sales growth in the digital technology space. With a focus on learning and marketing, her breadth of experience stretches across strategy, management, sales, business development, program management, support, and operations. She has led teams and has held business critical leadership roles at Google and Microsoft across the APAC and EMEA regions, and even run global teams. She currently leads the global scaled customer training function for Google Cloud and is based in London. Darshini is especially passionate about driving equality and inclusiveness, both in the workplace and beyond. She is heavily engaged in corporate diversity initiatives, has founded the Women of Cloud Lean In Circle in Singapore, mentors and trains various underrepresented groups, and is actively engaged in her executive role with women at Google. Outside of work, you'll find her outdoors with her 2 kids and 2 dogs, taking time to learn something new, or simply just running, cooking, and upcycling. Check out her LinkedIn profile to learn more. Welcome to the show, Darshini. I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I'm thrilled to be here.
Great. Well, let's get started. Darshini, as a woman in tech, can you share with us your career journey and how you got to where you are today?
Thank you for asking, Jennifer. I started my career in online advertising at a time when it was still this emerging technology that less than 1% of advertisers were even considering as an option. And then since then, I've really moved various functions, but very often aligning myself to what has felt like the newest technology at that point in time. I've been in roles in operations, sales, marketing, training and development, product. But really, for me, my passion has been in training and learning. So I keep coming back there, and I've spent the last 6 years in the training space, and primarily in the cloud space, which is really the technology of now, and where there's a ton of questions to be answered. Yeah, I should also call out that I've actually had the privilege of working in both regional and global roles. And I've lived and worked in various markets, including India, Ireland, Singapore, and now in the UK.
Wow. What an extensive background, starting in online advertising. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And I think, you and I both shared this operations, sales, training, learning and development, all of that. I have that background as well, but my passion is also learning and development. And you and I are both very passionate about continuous learning. Why is learning so important?
Oh, I love this question. Where do I even begin, Jennifer? Why is learning important? Learning is life.
Yes.
And I mean, keeping yourself open to learning opportunities really means you're ready to take on whatever comes. In today's day and age, really nobody is going to college and graduating with the skills they need to get through the rest of their career. There is no such thing anymore, right? There is no one job that people do anymore. So if you're not learning, you're just not relevant. And if I think back to my first job, that job's not relevant anymore. If I think back to my job from 8 years ago, that's not relevant anymore. So if you're not learning, if you're not staying on top of it, if you're not giving yourself the opportunity to acquire new skills, you're just really losing out on the opportunities around you. So, I think we also need to remember that learning isn't just learning for the sake of doing a job. So I should clarify that. Learning isn't any one kind either. You've got, professional development. You've got languages. You've got job-specific skills. And then you have technical skills. But you also have all these other skills that you can acquire for pleasure. Go learn pottery, right? Go learn how to make great coffee. Learn how to knit or crochet, anything at all that brings you that joy. All of these are different ways in which you're just training yourself to be sharp and ready for whatever comes your way. You really never know where you may find your next passion, and learning is what really helps you test that out to see.
I love that. I love that you said learning is life, because I always say if you're not continuously learning, you're dead. And that's really the same
100%.
thing, right? Yeah. Yeah. So
100%.
that's great. Great. So the IT industry is constantly changing, right? I mean, every day there's new things, and every day we have to learn about new things. What are some ways that you can stay on top of the technologies and be more relevant, like you said?
Indeed, Jennifer. The IT industry is constantly changing. And the onset of generative AI is something else that's changing the industry as we speak right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a ton of great resources out there. That's the beautiful thing about IT. Because it's IT, everything's available online.
Mm-hmm.
So all you need to do really to get started is do a quick search, identify a topic as a starting point, or speak to a friend. I think we underestimate that. Go talk to someone in your own network or talk to a friend's friend who has some experience in this. Sit down, have a coffee, and understand, hey, what's going on and where do I begin? Like, if I'm interested in this and I want to understand it further, what's a good starting point? Ask for
Right.
recommendations, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then go watch a video. It costs nothing. It just takes a couple of minutes of time. Go watch a video and start browsing. Then doing your own research. Like sort of feed your curiosity a little bit and see what gets you there. With IT, beyond just all of the theory that exists online, there's a ton of great tools available for you to go acquire hands-on skills as well. And these are all testing environments, right? So it's a great way to go say, hey, I want to do a little bit of coding and see how it lands.
Mm-hmm.
And then get a bit of feedback on it or learn from others who have done that. So there's a ton of content and resources available out there where you can turn some of that interest into theory and theory into actual hands-on experience. Now,
Now, now, do you get these free? How does one start to find these tools?
yeah, that's another good question. There is a lot of information out there for free, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's looking at YouTube videos or going into specific online education catalogs and looking through those. There's a ton available for free. But I do think that if you want to go deeper or if you want to commit to a longer learning experience, you might have to commit some funding towards it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The piece that I would say is worth considering if you're serious about staying on top of all things IT is certification.
Mm.
IT requires certification. It is a professional role.
Mm-hmm.
So go get trained, starts to get exciting, starts to pique your interest, go deeper, get the hands-on experience, and then invest in getting yourself certified in the technology.
Mm-hmm. And why is certification important?
Well, first things first, certification makes you more hireable. So if
Mm.
you're looking at IT as a very serious path for you, and
Mm-hmm.
even in IT, if you intend to continue on, you need to continuously stay up to date on your certifications. So certifications are great indicators of expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Hiring managers love certifications,
Mm-hmm.
and they're considering certifications seriously or more seriously than university degrees today when it
That's
comes to
great.
determining. Yeah, like I mean that's what's expertise now. So going after it is super critical. And it does give you that depth of knowledge, right? It goes well past the surface level content, and it is testing for a deep understanding. So
Mm-hmm.
it's well worth it. I also do want to call out that not all certifications are equal. You have your deeply professional certifications, but you also have an associate level certification, which gives you um, the skills, but aren't necessarily as deep as professional. They're a great stepping stone to professional. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's the business certification as well, right? So most IT providers also offer what's known as the business certification, which is really
Mm-hmm.
to help people who are not in technical roles but are in tech organizations to speak the language and to understand the trends well. So there's something for everyone.
Right. That's great that the business certification is also coming out, because the business side is just as important as the technical role in a technical organization or in any organization, right?
100%. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, business needs to be able to understand tech in order to make better decisions, and tech needs to understand business to to fully
Right.
align. So it's
Right.
two sides of a coin, really.
Yes, I know that a while ago they were not talking a lot about the business certifications, and tech would try to communicate with upper leadership as to why they need certain technologies, and they would fail because they really didn't know how to show the business ROI on that technology. And now they are learning that, and going through the business certification is critical.
Yeah, and this is a great example, Jennifer, of why business leaders also need to be really equipped with the knowledge and skills that come with all
Hmm.
things, right? Can you just imagine if years ago business leaders had had the opportunity to make better decisions around tech when tech was asking for those decisions,
Hmm.
right? Change could have happened so much sooner in many ways. So really, I mean, look, there's learning for everyone. There's learning for every type of role that potentially exists today, and I think it's so critical to be familiar.
Hmm. With all the options. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really laid it out very well. So thank you for that. So taking time to learn is always a challenge, right? Everybody wants to learn, but may not have the time or the energy by the time they have the time. It's late at night. What are some ways that you can learn both formally and informally that you could put as part of your routine?
I love this question. And it makes me think of something that I read once. So credits to the author. I can't remember where exactly I read it,
Okay.
but
Okay.
um, I read somewhere once that it's what you do in your free time that determines what your next role will be.
Ah.
So really, the way I see it as is an investment. This is not a chore. This is not a must do. This is an investment in your own self.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, yes, taking time to learn something is always a challenge, but not doing it has far dire consequences over this,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
right?
true.
I mean, learning is fun. You and I are both in the learning space. I think you'd agree with me when
I
I say,
agree. You have to make it fun. If it's not fun, then don't do it,
right,
because you have to have a passion for it. And you and I both have that passion, and that's why we think it's fun. But a lot of people might not, and it's really then not for you. But
right.
learning is so important for everybody to grow.
Absolutely. Learning is supposed to be joyous. It's supposed to be this incredibly rewarding
Mm-hmm.
experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it's really important for individuals then, like you said, to sort of ask yourself, what are you gravitating towards? Like, and learning is such a risk-free way to identify if something's interesting to you or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, going and attending the wrong lecture or signing up for the wrong program, you're still going to learn something. Like it's
Yeah,
never going to waste, right? But
absolutely. Yeah.
it's such a great way to get a taste of, or look, would I like to spend 8 hours of my day doing that? Does this seem interesting to me? And it's such a risk-free way to evaluate that.
I love how
But
you said it's an investment in you. It's creating a better you. If you want to do that, then learning is the best way to do that. And it doesn't have to be technical or non technical, it can be anything, and it can be formal or informal, which can make it fun.
absolutely, absolutely. Um, I can share a personal example, Jennifer. So
Sure.
right now,
Yes.
I'm actually pursuing my third formal degree. It's
Wow.
an executive master's. I love it. It keeps me so busy. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely love it. I mean, I spend a couple of hours over weeknights, and then
What are your
fair.
other two degrees?
So my other two degrees were my bachelor's and my first master's. So this is my
Mm-hmm.
second
Oh,
master's.
wow.
Yeah, and I'm doing it in change. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a topic that I mean, I'm happy to spend the time. I'm happy to make the investment. Right. I
That's
took my
great.
time to make the decision to do it, and then once
Mm-hmm.
I did, I set life up, and I struck a deal with my family, saying, look, this means I'm going to have to go away every couple of months and
Mm-hmm.
go to school, and I'm going to have to spend some of my weekends. And when I'm working, I really need you not to disturb me.
Mm-hmm.
they value that. And learning being such a critical value for me, I want to see that. I want my kids to see that in action as well.
That's great. That's so great to get them as part of it, right? Because you can't do it on your own, and you don't want to feel guilty at the end of the day that you weren't there with them while you were learning, you know? You want to be
Right.
happy about doing it. Yeah. Very
Right.
great.
So,
That's great.
so yeah, I mean, if you think about then how do you make the time for it, like take a call based on priorities. If it doesn't feel
Mm-hmm.
like the right time, it's not the right time. You're not
Mm-hmm.
going to enjoy the learning. But once you commit to it and you feel like this is what I have to do for myself and this is what I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I need to do, then create the space to go do it.
Yeah.
And deprioritize something else. So you're giving
Mm-hmm.
yourself bandwidth to do that.
And the,
Um,
the beauty of what you did was that you sat with them, you explained to them what you were doing, why it was important, why it was beneficial to them and you. I think that's so valuable, to have them a part of that decision.
yes, absolutely, Jennifer. I mean, um, yeah, you're not going to learn in a vacuum, right? We still operate
Mm-hmm.
in society when we're off doing these things for ourselves. Same holds true with a full-time job as well, right? Like if you're trying to learn something on top of a job, sometimes it means just creating boundaries for yourself and then having the
Mm-hmm.
discipline to see that through and like reminding yourself that this is the investment you're making in yourself. Now, it helps if you put some money down for a course
Sure.
because then you're automatically going to be committed to it.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Very true.
but I also do want to say that look, many courses, and I've done these in the past. For a while there, I had this. I still do actually. This goal for myself where I would say learn one new thing every year. Right? It could be
Mm-hmm.
anything, but it can just go do it. And through that, I kind of went and learned sign language. I
Nice.
went and learned negotiation skills one year.
Mm-hmm.
I did a program on strategy, disruptive strategy once. So you just kind of varied
Open
up.
your mind. Yeah.
Yeah, and once a year means I'm probably investing 2 or 3 months in that year.
Mm-hmm.
Once a week
Mm-hmm.
for 2 or 3 months is what 12 hours in a year
Yep. Yep.
to do something that should be doable, right?
That should be
But
doable.
it's
Yeah.
the commitment's got to come first.
Yes. Yes. I love that. So you are also a very, very strong advocate for mentoring. Tell us ways to find a great mentor. Also share with us how you found a mentor and some of the ways to be a great mentee, because it really takes two to make the relationship work.
I agree. It definitely takes two to make the relationship work. I have had some fantastic mentors in my life. I have found them often by chance, actually, Jennifer.
Mm,
It's
mhm,
typically in the workplace where I've kind of looked at someone going, I like what she does. And I mean,
mhm,
most of my mentors have been women. Um, and I'm kind of drawn to a certain quality. And then
mhm.
I reach out going, hey, can we go grab a coffee when you're free for 30 minutes?
Sure.
And then we sit down, and then it turns into this mentoring relationship.
Nice.
I've had some male mentors as well, where I've sort of, again, I've kind of watched them in action, and I've identified certain qualities that really resonate, and then
Mhm,
I go ask for a conversation, and then
mhm.
ask for advice, and that turns into that sort of mentoring relationship.
Now, what have you found like the differences between a male mentor and a female mentor? Anything?
I think largely not that different,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think that with women, sometimes I have received mentoring advice um, that's that's deeper
Mm.
and
Okay.
more relevant in some ways to myself.
Okay. Okay. Makes more
Um,
sense to you, right? It
it
just
does,
feels right. Yeah.
it does,
Because
and there's something
we think one way, right? We're thinking a certain way, and so they're kind of reigniting that thought process for you, whereas a man might be more broader, I think.
right, right, and
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to topics of how do I manage my priorities at home with my priorities at work, and how do I balance ambition. Some of the fears we have as women in the space, I actually think it's only best understood by other women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not to say that, I've had some fantastic male mentors and coaches as well who've also done a brilliant job of understanding where we are. But
Mm-hmm.
there's something about a shared experience
Mm-hmm.
that I think holds true for some of the female mentors that I've had in my life. And I'll say this, sometimes the advice that I receive from my female mentors are hard to swallow.
Mm-hmm. And you want that. You want the truth. You want it authentic. You want it to be real. So you
Yeah,
do want that. Yeah. So
you
you
want
don't
that.
want somebody to just sugarcoat everything,
No, you want the real stuff and you want to be prepared, right? And that's
Right.
what mentoring allows you to do. It allows you to be prepared for those tough moments, those sticky
Mm-hmm.
moments.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, you asked me what it takes to be a good mentee.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need to address that as well.
Yes, please.
I think that I've had the good fortune of being a mentee and then becoming a mentor as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a lifelong journey of being both, right? You're both the
Mm-hmm.
learner and the
Mm-hmm.
learnee in a sense.
Yes.
Um, I'd say I think the most important thing about being a mentee is coming to it ready to be fully present,
Yes.
right? Come to the conversation without an expectation for what the responses look like, but with an expectation for what you want to get out of it.
Yep.
So bring
I
your whole
love that.
self. Yeah, bring your whole self to the session, right? You are an individual. You're not just who you are at work or at home. You are both.
Mm-hmm.
And then give that to your mentor-mentee relationship so that your mentor is able to fully guide you as well.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think mentees need to kind of guide the conversation where they need help.
Yeah.
What types of questions do they have? What challenges are they facing? So always be prepared to bring those things up in your conversation, correct?
100%. I mean, think about all the challenges you're facing and then start to think about patterns. Bring those things to the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's be
Mm-hmm.
prepared, right? And do homework. If you have homework, do the
Mm-hmm.
homework because that's going to be valuable to take the conversation forward. But really just be super present and ask questions. Be curious about yourself, about where your thoughts go, about um, where or why the mentor may be sharing what they are sharing.
Right, right. No, that's great. Great, great advice. So, what challenges have you faced in your career and how have you overcome them?
This is actually a really hard one to answer, Jennifer, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my challenges are different from what anyone else is facing.
Mm.
But I think I'd like to respond to your question with a specific sort of moving target of a challenge that I have
Sure,
right now.
sure, sure.
And that's really around balance. So it's not so much the work-life balance, so to speak, but it's a balance of when I want to pursue my own ambitions and goals and when I want to pursue my personal priorities.
Mm.
Right? And the reason I call it a moving target is my family's needs are constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
As the kids grow from young kids to older kids, what they need and what they need from me is constantly varied.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, I think the challenge that I have personally is just, is this going to be the year where I lean into work? Is this going to be the year where I lean into life,
Mm.
right? And into family.
Very
And I think
tough. Yeah.
it's tough, but I do think about it a little proactively to have some plan. I can't say it's a perfect plan, but I
Mm-hmm.
kind of look at it going, okay, 2023, I'm going to sort of go 50-50 on both. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. Last year, we made the big move from Singapore to London. I chose family over work when I did. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I
Mm-hmm.
did because we had so much change at home. I
Sure.
said, it'll be 60-40, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to commit to crazy things at work, and that's okay. But I am going to commit to being present for my family. Now, going
Mm-hmm.
into 24, that may look very different. And there have been
So
times,
60% family and then 40% work
right,
in that year. Yeah, that's
right.
great.
And this isn't so much a time division, but it's just the way I prioritize, whether I
And
say
what
yes to
really
the project.
sucks your time or energy, right? I mean, it's really
Right,
what takes from you. Yeah.
right, right.
Hmm. Very interesting. You have a lot of great, great thoughts, and you spend a lot of time planning, which I love because, the only way things happen is when you plan it. And it may not happen 100%, but if you don't plan it, you're planned to fail, basically.
Right. And I said this, someone laughed at me the other day, Jennifer, but I said planning helps me feel prepared for
Yes.
whatever change comes my way.
Yes.
And they're like, I don't get it. If it changes, then what happened to your plan? I said, no, that's the exact point.
That's okay.
If I
Yep.
have a plan, I can do anything.
Right.
But if I don't have a plan, everything is daunting.
And it catches you off guard. You can't plan. I'm very much of a planner, and I like that. I like that ability to control the outcomes.
Yeah.
Through planning. Yeah, that's great. No, I agree with you 100%. So, this podcast is focused around bridging culture, pay, and employment gap for women in tech. What are you seeing from your lens in the industry today?
I love what you're doing with this podcast, Jennifer. I think that
Thank you.
this is so critical for here and now. Um, I think it's a mixed bag, really, I have to say. I, I feel privileged to see the kinds of areas in which we have grown, right? I think it's becoming a better and better place for women in tech,
Mm-hmm.
but there's still a long way to go.
Yep, I agree. There's still a lot of work to be done. Yep.
And I think, what was it, 80 cents to a dollar? Is that the ratio? Or
81, I think. Yeah, I said, yeah.
Yes, somewhere between 80 and 82 cents to a dollar is where, and I think that hits somewhere in the third week of October is when women are done getting paid for the year.
Jeez. That's ridiculous. I mean, that really, we should be a lot further, but we seem to go backwards some years. During the pandemic, so many of the women left the workforce because there was so many demands on working from home and balancing everything. It was very, very tough. And hopefully that we'll see that changing now that the pandemic is done and we're moving forward. So I hope so.
Yeah. And I hope that people remember that it doesn't mean we go back to exactly what we were doing before either, because women were being overworked prior to the pandemic.
Right. Absolutely right.
But that we really need to fundamentally rethink then how we create that equitable workforce. So there's so much more work to be done, Jennifer. That said, I should call out, this, I spend a fair amount of time in my week also coaching, and I come across a lot of women in the early career stage in my coaching hours. And I'm quite encouraged when I hear them talk about their own ambitions, their own goals, and how they're just unashamedly asking for what they deserve.
That's
and
great.
I learned so much from those sessions, Jennifer.
Is that more the younger generation doing that or all?
Yes, I would say more the younger generation. But there's also a certain beautiful boldness to that early career population.
Yeah.
Right? They're just out there. They know what they're worth, and they're not afraid to ask it. And I love that. That makes me feel really hopeful for the future, because we got to make these changes, decade on decade. So
that's absolutely right. They have a voice. That's what's so important at the table. Now we just have to catch them between the ages of 8 and 13 to get interested in technology, so that they can take that as a career. Because if you don't influence them at that age, you're not going to get them,
Yes, I love that. And I actually have a daughter in that age group. And we do simple things like she loves playing chess. So that's a deeply strategic, game of logic. And then there's also the Rubik's Cube and other ways through which she's already quite quickly exposed to algorithms and this notion of programming without it being programming in its core form. So big fan of that. It makes such a huge difference. And I'm very watchful of the language I use around it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
For me,
very important.
There was a lot of, growing up, sometimes you'd hear, oh, maths is hard. Is it? Or are we
if you think it is, it is. If you don't, then it doesn't. It's not.
It's not. So I think being watchful and conscious of how we're positioning things to the future generations and giving them the opportunity to just pursue what they want to pursue without biases, so important.
That's great. That's great. So true. Thank you for that. So this is a selfish question, because I love to travel and
Mm.
I always want to add to my bucket list. So where is your favorite place that you've traveled to and why?
Oh, Jennifer. Okay, I'll talk about my most favorite recent one.
Okay.
The favorites change. Every time I travel, there's a new list, right?
Yep, that's good. That means you're learning and growing.
Indeed. So, Jennifer, if I can tempt you to travel across the pond, my current favorite is Cornwall, which is the southwestern part of England. And we spent a few days there during the summer, and it's just got a really great vibe. There's
Ah,
great cake everywhere you go, great tea and cake everywhere you go, and
mhm.
there's a good, nice long coastline as well, so you can spend time on the beach or you can be more inland. It's really up to you how you want to spend your time. Great place to just sort of unwind and spend time with family. Very family friendly. So
I
um,
love that. And I haven't been there. I've been to London, but I haven't been to Cornwall because I've just not even known about it. So this is great.
next time then, Jennifer.
Hmm. I love, love, love London. So I'm sure that's going to carry on to, Cornwall, where it's going to be so great, but just more low key and not, the city vibe, more, relaxed vibe is what I'm getting
Right,
from you. I don't know. Yep.
right. More oceanside,
Yep.
just kind of
Yep.
find a little fishing village and
Hmm.
settle into a little cottage and enjoy the cool breeze.
Nice, nice. Thank you for that. I will definitely put that one on my list. This was so great. Such an honor to have you on the show, Darshini. And if you can share with our listeners how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, LinkedIn's the best way to reach me,
Yep.
Jennifer.
Okay.
But I would say put in a little message while reaching out so I
Hmm.
know that you're reaching out to me after hearing
The
me speak.
podcast. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and I'd love to know what resonated with you when you reach out. So
Nice.
LinkedIn.
Nice, nice, nice. Thank you. We'll put your LinkedIn in the notes too, in the show notes. Thank you again. I truly appreciate it. I know your time is so precious and valuable, and you took time to help other women by being on the show, and I really, really appreciate you.
It's been such a pleasure, Jennifer, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to Tech in the Right Direction. Please take a minute to subscribe or follow so that you never miss an episode. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Thank you. See you next week.
From IT skill enhancements to end user adoption training, Directions Training is your resource to help optimize the effectiveness of your technology investments. Over 500,000 students have taken advantage of our wide selection of technology and business training solutions, covering the most popular applications today, such as Microsoft 365, Azure, Windows 10, and more. As a podcast listener, we invite you to take advantage of an exclusive offer. Receive 30 days of free access to our Microsoft official curriculum on-demand courses for IT professionals or end users. Visit us at www.directionstraining.com/podcast to claim this offer today. Hurry, this offer is only available for a limited time. Success is a journey. Ask for directions.